Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to a little ring tutorial to go with our pretty hematite necklace, or whatever you made, whatever you're stringing, or just a peyote stitch ring, which is what this is. It's some delica beads and some seed beads, some crystals, and I made it to go with this necklace, and I think it'll look really pretty. So let me show you what you're going to need for this project. You're going to need some 11-0 delicas, and these are Metallic Galvanized Silver. Now I'm using all Miyuki. It doesn't matter what brand you use, just stick to one brand, because if you mix Toho and Miyuki, you're going to have gaps. It's not going to look right. So either use all Toho, use all Miyuki, use all whatever, whatever type seed bead you have, but don't mix the brands up. This is that an 11-0. It's sort of a transparent silver lined delica, and I don't have the name of it, and that may be the name of it, but the number is 1572. So I think that you could probably find that, or any other. You don't even need to use both of these. I've used the galvanized silver along the band, and then I just put a little bit of these in just as a transition, but it's not even really all that necessary. Okay, and then we've got a seed bead. This is an 11-0 seed bead. So far we're all 11-0s. I've got a little delica stuck in there, but I'll get them out later. And this seed bead is, it's a Miyuki 2091, and it's matte metallic silver, which gives a little contrast on the side of the ring there. And then I've got some, so I'm going up in size now, so this is what's going to give the ring a little shape. So what I've got over here is our 8-0 seed beads, and these are, get you the exact name, these are Miyuki's again, and they're matte transparent gray. Again, you can use any color you like. This is kind of dark on the camera, but it's really pretty. In person, it's not. And then I've used a crystal here. I've used a 3mm, I don't know if you can see that, hematite. Let me pull those. Hey, come on, you guys. 3mm hematite. In this ring, I used the 3mm rondelle that I had taken apart from an earring to use for the necklace. So that's, this part of the necklace here, the two ends here. So if you have a 3mm rondelle, that would be perfect. Or you can use a 4mm. I just wanted the ring to be sort of flat. I didn't want it to be hump up too much. Now, if you look on my website, I've got lots of bracelets with this sort of graduated peyote stitch, and some of them are really, really, really go up high and then low and high and low. This one I wanted to keep somewhat flat. So I'm going to pull it off. I want you to keep it slightly snug when you make this, because fireline, as I always say, it does stretch and the ring will stretch. So this is what it looks like if I put it flat, and I see all kinds of bracelet possibilities here, as I'm sure you do. So here, and then start another sort of hump here, and then go down, and another one here. Look on my website and you'll see all the peyote stitch bracelets that use this sort of technique. So, the band itself is going to be, basically the galvanized silver. And then we're just going to graduate our beads up a little bit, not a ton. As I said, I wanted this to be more flat than super domed on top. You can really make it super domed by changing your graduation. You could use 15-0s, 11-0s, and then you can use 8-0s, and then you could do some 6-0s and really make them big. So there are endless possibilities. This is the little one I came up with for the necklace. I think it's going to be a really sort of pretty combination. Big mess of necklace over there. And so why don't you get your materials together and we'll get started. Okay, we're back. So I've taken a size 10 beading needle and I've threaded on about a wingspan of fireline. You'll need about a wingspan. And I've put on a stop bead and I've put on 10 of the galvanized silver delica beads to begin with. This is just like the 10-row toggle that we made. It's exactly like it. We're just not making a toggle. The explanation for my nail polish bottle is that I don't have a ring display. I really should have a necklace and a ring display, but I don't. So I looked all over for something to display it on, and the only thing it fit on was the cap of this bottle. So we'll sort of refer back to, you know, to this ring, and I'll just leave it on the bottle. And in case you're interested, it's the color is Sugar Daddy. And we'll just put this over here for the moment. I'm just going to put it out of frame for a minute. And we're going to go on and start the band of our ring. So that's this part. Okay, we'll start that part of the ring. So we have on our thread 10 galvanized silver delica beads. I'm going to work in this direction. It doesn't really matter which direction you work in, but this is just comfortable for me. Now these are, you know, small for the cameras, but we'll see how it goes. Take a galvanized silver delica, skip this last bead and go up the next bead. Now try to keep your thumb. If you can't keep your thumb on it, that's okay. It will all come into place. But if you try to keep your thumb on it, it goes into place much easier. So this is what you should have. It's a little crooked at the moment, but it's like a little T at the bottom. You have two beads, the two beads next to each other. Okay? So this is what you have. If you don't have it, take it out and do it again. Sorry. Pick up a silver delica, the galvanized silver. You are coming out of, let's see if I can get that straight. Okay. Coming out of this bead, skip this bead, go up the next bead. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, hold your thumb on it. I'm just going to go off, you know, I'd be off camera for a second while I pull, and that's what you have when you pull it. Okay, two beads sitting next to each other. So we're going to do that all the way up. Take a galvanized silver. You're coming out of this bead, skip this bead, go up this bead. Pull. Okay. So you want all your little guys to be sitting next to each other as you bead. Okay, see? That's how it looks. Hold it with your thumb. Pick up another delica. You're coming out of this bead. Skip this bead. Go up the next bead. Like that. Put your thumb on it. And pull. Whoops. And that's going to happen. It will fall out of your hands probably 100 times. But just, you know, just stick in there. You can do it. It's the first couple of rows are the hardest. So let's see, my camera's sort of gone out of focus, so let me see if I can get it back in focus. Come on, you. There we go. Okay. Pick up a delica. You're coming out of this bead. Skip the next one. Go through the last one that's right next to your stop bead. Don't go through your stop bead. Just go through the delica. Okay? Pull that next to that one. Maybe pull your stop bead down a little bit just to make them sit properly, because you want these two to sit right next to each other. Okay? So let's see. So this is what you have. Alright? So I'm going to turn mine around so that my stop bead is on the bottom. Straighten that out a little bit. See? That's what you should have at this point. Take a galvanized silver delica. Go up the first sticking out delica. See? Now we're getting there. Okay? Go through, pick up a bead, go through the next sticking out delica. This is such an easy part of peyote. You can get this part done in no time. And just do it. Just keep filling in the holes. Pick up a delica, go through the next delica, the next, exactly, to fill in that hole. So you're going through all the sticking out delicas, okay? That's your peyote, right? Remember from the, look at the peyote toggle. So keep doing that. Turn it around, or just, you know, however you feel comfortable. Some people just keep, you know, turn the needle around and go down. They go up, down, up, down. I just turn the work, just so it's, you know, just, I think that's just the way I learned, so that's the way I do it. Okay. Go through the next delica. There we go. Pick up a bead. Galvanized silver delica. Go through the next sticking out delica. Pick up another galvanized silver. Go up the last sticking out delica. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to let you go off on your own for a bit. So we're working on a third row here. I would say do at least, you know, we're going to measure this around our finger as we go, because I don't have a ring mandrel, so I can't tell you what size is how many beads is what size ring. So you're going to have to use your little, you're going to have to use your finger. So I'm making it to fit my middle finger, which would be a size 8 for me. My ring finger is a 7. I like it on the middle finger. So when I put it on, you know, it slides on easily, but you know, it's a little snug, but it should be a little snug because you want it to, you know, it's going to stretch over time. So you don't want it to get too big. So I'm going to go do around 12 rows. I think that's going to probably bring me to the middle here, or to here. And then we're going to start doing this part, because then after this part, you're just going to go down. And you're just going to keep, and when you get to the, you see I should have left it on my little ring, my little nail polish bottle. When you get to this part, you're just going to meet, and you're going to wrap it around your finger until it meets properly. Oh, sorry about that. So let me take this off camera, and put it back on its little stand, which I should have just left it on. That was kind of silly. So here we go. It's on a stand. So what I was saying is, you're going to just continue till, you know, putting on this band until, you know, for about 10, let's say 10 rows, because then you're going to, you know, then you're going to do this part, this part, this part, and then you're just going to come around the other side, and you're going to meet and sew it up. So we'll work on that for a bit and get around 10 rows done, and then we'll start doing this part. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, so I've done about 12 rows, and the way I counted them was, I count them from the side. So I'll go from this one, let's see if I can get that clear. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rows. Now we're going to keep this, and you know, the whole ring is going to be an even count so that we can zip it up, but we'll get to that later. Okay, so here I am, and this is going to be sort of the back first part of the ring here. Okay, so we're going to go to our silver lined size 11 delicas, and we're just going to do a couple of rows of those. So let's take a silver lined delica, and you're just, again, filling in the spaces. So take a delica, and I've just changed it, just, you know, just to give it sort of a graduated look. You don't have to change it, or you can even make it a little more, you know, you can make it a little more contrasting. Mine is just going from sort of a solid galvanized to a transparent silver lined. It was just my choice. You can choose whatever you want at that point. So we're just filling these in. Okay, so that's one row. Go again. 2. So keep on going, and I've sort of put my beads. They're off the the camera view because I just think it you know it blurs too much. So just I kind of put them in a row of what bead I'm going to put on next. You don't have to, but you can if you want. So you can barely see the difference here. So I'm going to do another row. Then we're going to get into a little more interesting stuff because we're going to stop using the delicas. Okay. Okay. So let's see. So I've put on, let me check my nail polish bottle and see how many rows I have. So I have 1, 2, up at the bottom, and I have 1 down here. So that would, let's see if that's where I am. I have 1 here, and I have 2 there. Okay, so you can just leave it at that. That's putting on a couple of rows. You can do a 3rd row if you want. I don't think it really matters. I think, okay, so maybe we'll do, let's just put a 3rd row on, because then it's, you know, if you're using a different color, you really want to see the contrast, okay? And it's just sort of easy just to pull those through. See, I change things up as I go along. Well, one day I will do PDF files for these once I learn how, and you'll have them forever and ever. Okay, so I've just put 3 rows of that on. So now I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to start with I'm going to pull these down, and hopefully it's not going to cause too much of a problem. I'm going to start with my 11.0 matte metallic antique silver seed beads. So I've gone from a delica to a seed bead. So let's start with 1 row of that. So this is starting to make the ring spread out a little bit. Even though they're still 11s, the seed beads are going to change things. Okay? And I'm going to stick with you on this. Okay, so you're always, you know, putting them through. Okay, so we've got 1. Let's look at our, again, we've got, it's either 2 or 3 rows, depending on how you count peyote, which as I said, is always confusing to me. But one day I'll, you know, I just have my way of counting it. So just go through the sticking out. Ouch. Don't poke your finger. Got a little wonky bead going on there, but that's okay. So keep going through the sticking out seed beads. These are the matte metallic silver. Okay, like so. It's kind of exciting because then you see something different. Okay, turn it around. Do it one more time. Okay, that's 4. I can straighten that guy out a little bit. Okay, and then 1 more. These are a little, try to get some, look for the uniform beads. Some of the Miyukis, even Miyuki, which surprises me, often they're not as uniform as you would like them to be. Okay, so I've got, this is where I am. I've got, so I think you would call this 2 rows, 2 or 3. I mean, sometimes you go this way and it's 3, but then this way it's 2. Anyway, you have two here, and there's 1 on the bottom there. Okay, so then let's start our 8-O's. So how many of those do we have? Again, we have 2 rows or 3 rows, depending on how you count them. I'm going to bring those down a little bit. So here we go. Just going to keep stringing along. Just going to string the 8 right through the 11 O's. And it's just going to make the ring spread out a little bit. Five, so that's 1. My thread is a little short, only because I did it just for viewing purposes, because that way I don't have thread knotting all over the place. So I'll just do the best I can. I think we'll get it all in, you know, and then I'll add some thread. But, you know, you do a wingspan, so it's all, you know, you don't have to add any thread to it. So just keep going along, Okay. All right, do one more row. Okay. Now you can do any color 8/0 here. These are seed beads, not delicas. We're done with the delicas for the moment. We'll get it back to them. Okay, so this is, see how it's, so this, here we go. So you see how it's spreading out at this point? Okay. So that's, I'm going to take it off its nail polish bottle for a minute, because maybe I can just put it on the side. So you see? It's starting to spread out? Okay. So we've done those. Now let's get to the 3mm either bicones or rondelles. So just turn your work, pick up a 3mm, put it through the 8/0 seed bead sticking out. Pick up a 3mm, go through the next 8/0. Peyote is so much fun. It's easy, and it's so pretty. You can make so many pretty designs. Just think of all the colors you can put in here. Okay. Go through. See, so you see how pretty that is? You're getting that shines coming in. So then go through your, you know, and it may seem a little wonky at first, but it all settles in really pretty. You can use, as I said, you can use seed beads with this. You can use crystals. You can use anything. Come on, you. Whoops. Okay, put that through. Just keep on going with your crystals. Now I used the rondelles on the last one, so this one may, and I'm running out of thread of course, so this may pop up a little bit more. So go ahead and do another row. More. Yeah, this is going to be a big one. The rondelles are a little smaller, so they're not, it's not going to be as large a ring. So here you go. See how it's starting to, oops, see how it's starting to really pop up? This one pops up a little less because I used the flatter bead, but you know, it'd be kind of cool seeing what's happening. So keep going with the center shiny beads until you have 1, 2 at either end. So I'm going to say that's, you know, 2 rows or 3 rows. I really have to get my counting of peyote down. So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, and then you know, you're going to have 2 at the bottom. So keep going. I've got another couple of rows to do, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll continue on. Okay, we're back. So I've put on my 2 rows or 3, just counted by the bottom. You have 2 of your beads at the bottom and 2 of your 3mm at the top. Now using these 3mm has made it quite a bit wider than using the rondelles, see? But I'm going to give it a shot and see how it comes out. So I'm going to continue on. So now that I've put the center rows in, I'm going to come around and I'm going to start going down. So the next part of the ring are the 8/0 gray 8/0s. So if you look at this, here are your gray 8/0s. You're going to go put the same amount on as you have on this side. Then you're going to go down to the 11/0 seed beads, and then the 11/0 delicas, and then back to the galvanized silver. Okay, so we're back. So I've gone ahead and I've done my peyote galvanized silver band on. So you know what we were doing. And we'll take our bottle off there. We were just, we came up, we just graduated the beads until we come up, and then we went down and just keep going around. And what I kept doing is I kept putting it around my finger like so, and then looking on the back and seeing how close I was to zipping up. Now I'm going to zip mine up even though it looks like it might be slightly tight, because I know it's going to stretch out, and I can always wear it on another finger. But one thing super important here, so as you're putting on these, the band part, just keep trying it on and seeing how close they are. You want to make sure that your ends are like so, that they are going to, see if I can get this in the camera very clearly, zip up. Because if they don't fit into one another like this, then you're not going to be able to zip up your band. So make sure you have that fit. Let me see if I can do it. I just want you to really, really see this so that you don't end up. So you see how when I put it together, it's like teeth of a zipper. They fit into each other. So make sure you have that at each end. So you're going to have, one's going to be going in and one's going to be going out. So you definitely want to do it so it's going to come out like that. If you come out and it's like this, either add another row or take one out on one side, on the side that you're on. Just make sure you can zip it up like so. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take another thing before we do that is, this was the first time I used these 3mm. Let's see if we can get me clearer here. There we go. 3mm beads. As I said before here, I'll put the rondelles on the other hand. See how flat that is? This is pretty domed. It's very pretty. I like it. I like it that way. It's nice. It really looks good. I might have done a third row of the 3mm hematite beads just for symmetry. But that's up to you, and just made a little smaller band. But that's a design decision that we all make. I just did it this way, and I think it looks pretty cool. So let's zip this baby up and call this a project. Okay, so you're going to put this together like so. See how the teeth go together, and here's where I'm coming out of the thread out of this bead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the bead next to it, and I'm going to pull. I'm going to thread my needle through, and I'm going to pull. That's going to pull those two beads together. Okay. Now this, if you need a little work on this, go to the peyote tube, because it's like sewing up a tube, right? So we're coming out of this bead right here. So we've sewn these two together. So we just want to go on the diagonal, right? So go through the next bead. Okay, it's hard to see with these little beads. And then you're sewing, you're there. Then you're going to go up through the next bead, just the sticking out beads, and pull. Okay, so we're little by little, whoops, we're zipping up. Maybe what I'll do is I'll zip it up really loosely and then pull it all together, and that might make it easier for you to see. So I'm going to let me put it on my finger. So I'm coming out of this bead, I'm going to go across to this sticking out bead. You're only working with the sticking out beads. Okay, pull my tail out. I'm going to go to this next sticking out bead here. I'm going to do it loosely. Then I'm going to go to this sticking out bead here. Okay, like so. I'm going to go through this sticking out bead over here, just zip it up like a zipper. This you'll really be able to see easily. There, I'm going to go through the next sticking out bead here, like so. Going to the next sticking out bead here, like that. Here's my last sticking out bead at the top. Okay, I'll pull. So you see how it's open? If I just pull, whoop, you can't even see where it zipped up. See? See how cool that is? It just zips right up. So if if this is these beads are too small for you to work with, as far as learning it, just go to the peyote tube toggle how-to, and it will show you how to zip up your beads. So here because I'm not connected here. Let me see if I can get that. Okay, see here to here to where my thread's coming out. I'm gonna just bring my thread down, connect those two. Oops, I got my tail caught a little bit. So get your tail out of there. There we go. I just want to pull this tail out because I got him caught and I see it I see it working into a knot here, and I'm going to try to get it before that happens. Okay. We're close. I'm going to come back. I'm going to back out just because I don't want to knot my tail up. Because you're right at the tail part. Okay, so here's my tail. I'm going to try and let me hold that tail back a little bit. Okay, so here we are. Alright, we're going to go down here and across. So when you sew in peyote, you're going to sew everything across. You never want to go straight down. You don't want any thread to show. So I'm going to do that. Remember, look at go look at that other video if you're having issue with this. Okay, so I've got another two, because this is hard to see because they're the silver color. So I'm going diagonally across another two. So what I'm doing right now is I'm really reinforcing this. Okay, so then I'm going to change direction, and I'm going to wait for this to clear up for you. Okay, it's hard to see where my thread's coming out, even for me. I'm going to go down these two. So this is all in the interest of, keeping it nice and strong. Okay, then I'm sort of turning around, and my thread is coming out right there. I'm going to go up on the diagonal. And this is taking me up. Let me see how many beads I'll go up. It's pretty tight. Go up 2. Okay, so that's pretty good. I think at this point, well, maybe I'll go up another couple. It's not letting me at the moment. I'll go up. That's what happens with peyote. It's very tight, but it's really pretty. It's like a mesh. Okay, and I'm just going to change directions one more time. Maybe if I put it on my thumb. Just going to go down here and down these 2 beads. Come on, you. Okay, that doesn't want to go. So I think I'm going to leave that so I don't crack it. I'm just going to take this, and I'm going to cut my thread off. Okay. Now what I have left is the tail thread. So I'm going to pull the thread off my needle. My needle's getting pretty bent at this point from going through all these tight beads. Oops. That was my pliers going on the floor. So I have to go find my pliers because, as usual, I can't get it. Ah, here we go. I want to flatten out the end of my tail so that I can thread my needle. Okay, there we go. Almost done. Just be patient. A couple more minutes. Get that needle threaded. Okay, so here's my tail. I'm going to go down a couple of, I got that stuck a little bit. Okay. So you see, sometimes like you see things. I got my tail stuck a little bit. Don't leave it. You know, just really look, especially with these shiny beads. Sometimes you don't realize that your thread might be stuck. So really look closely at everything. Okay, so I'm going to go down the next bead and diagonally across. I just wait here for things to clear up and hope for the best. There. So I'm coming out here. I'm going to go through a couple here. I'm coming out. Let's see, where am I? I know if I could barely see it, I know you can't. It's hard for you. So do look at the video for sewing up a peyote toggle so that you don't get frustrated. I'm just going to go do the last couple of beads, and then I'm going to kind of cut this one off and see. And we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so off it goes. I would burn it in. There's your ring. Okay, let's give it a try. See if it fits. Okay, you see, so it does fit. And it could have even been maybe slightly tighter, maybe not. But so if it seems like it's not going to fit, because you have some space between the two ends of your the peyote band, have faith that it's going to, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Have faith that it's going to fit. We'll put this one on my other finger. So here are the two. This one's is a little more rounded. This one's a little flat. Here they are. Pushing the necklace. I'll be right back. I just want to pull the necklace out. Okay, here we go. Here's the necklace. Here are the rings. I really like the way this one came out. You can make this see it from the side, it's kind of cool. This one's the flat one from the side. So you can really do anything. You can use any color beads. You can use any size beads. You can use bigger, smaller. You can make it flat. You can make it really bumpy. You can make a bracelet by just going one by one. Bigger beads, smaller, bigger, smaller. And just check my Facebook page out. You'll see there are lots of those on there. And we'll do one of those. But this is just really the whole thing. It's really easy, and it comes out looking pretty good. Okay, so we made it through the video. You got a new nail polish, and enjoy making this ring, and I'll see you on the next video.